Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Revived. Today, I'm here to talk about one of the hardest subjects in the world, which is self-love. Which I know that people on the internet, people on TV, try to make it out at like it's one of the easiest things in the world that you will ever do. And trust me, I know firsthand that it's not. It is one of the hardest paths that you will ever take, because the self-love journey requires a lot of self-reflection, a lot of honesty on your part, and it does require that you come face to face with your own hurt and your own pain, which not a whole lot of people want to do. I mean, if it were really that easy, everybody would do it, but it is one of the hardest, most brutal paths that you will ever take in your life. I even said this to somebody the other day, that it would be a lot easier for me to go and dig a ditch at a construction site than it would be for me to continue on this path of self-love, because it is really, really difficult, especially when you've had people in your life, especially people that that are closest to you, that have belittled you, that have been mean to you, and that have treated you unfairly, have called you names, have gaslit you. I can go down the list of all the different ways that people have made you feel unlovable. So I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to go back and remember certain things that people have said to you that you still remember, but you just don't want to deal with. Well, part of this journey of self-love is that you have to deal with it, but you have to deal with it in a way that isn't obsessive, that is, you have to deal with it in a way that's constructive. And it's all part of this journey of alchemizing, transmuting bad feelings and emotions into something that could be very beneficial to the people around you, which I know it doesn't seem that way. I know it kind of seems like you have fallen victim to your own life. You've been a victim of your own childhood, of the parents that raised you, or or your teachers at school, or whoever you've been close to, or even if it's your adult life, where you've been in toxic relationships with an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend. Maybe you've been married, now you're divorced, and you had a very toxic marriage. Maybe you went to work for somebody who was also very toxic and was very was very demanding, and had all these unrealistic expectations of you as an employee. I mean, the list goes on and on, but you have to deal with it. And however which way you decide to go about that, whether that's by self therapy, which I highly recommend people, or if it's going to see a professional. Maybe you go and see a life coach, or you go and see a therapist about it, or if you're religious, if you identify as being a Christian, well, then go and see a pastor about it, right? You have to decide at the end of the day what works best for you and your own life. I'm not here to tell you to do X, Y, and Z, or that you have to do this in order to truly love yourself. Everybody's path is different. Everybody is different on an individual level. God sent you here for a purpose. God sent you here for a mission. Your soul knows what to do. Your soul is very, very powerful. Your soul is more powerful than you give it credit for. Your soul is not your physical body, because your physical body is temporary anyway. I mean, let's just assume that we are the last generation to ever face death. Or we might be the first generation to never experience death. Depending on, how much healthier we get as a society, how much, more seriously we take mental health, how much, healthier we eat, how much cleaner we eat, those are all determining factors into, how long we live, or, if we have an expiration date. But let's just assume for a second that we are the last generation to die. You're not going to be able to take your physical body with you. You're not going to be able to take your job or your occupation with you, how much money you have, if you even have a job, or if you even have any money. None of that's going to matter, at the end of your life. You have to, at part of this embarking on this journey of self-love is you have to recognize yourself on the soul level, who you are as a soul, because contrary to your physical body, your soul has no beginning and it has no end. Your soul is infinite. So you have to recognize who you are on the soul level and understand that even though your experiences and your trauma, is very painful, and I don't want to ever make light of anybody's pain or of anybody's heartache. I do, empathize with other people that are in pain or that have dealt with trauma, because I've dealt with all that myself. And, I've gotten to the point in my life where I can now truly empathize with myself. And so now it's a lot easier for me to empathize with other people. But just know that your experiences and whatever you've gone through in life led you to where you are right now. There is a reason why you're watching this video, because your soul led you in this direction. God led you in this direction because you have a higher purpose. You have a higher meaning. You are more loved than you can even imagine, and you can love yourself. The sky's the limit. You can love yourself should you choose to embark on this journey, but I think that you should, and I think that everybody should, and I am so glad that as of recently I've decided to go down this path, because it is very well worth it. First of all, you're going to experience the inner peace that you've never experienced in your entire life. You start to feel bliss. You start to feel more comfortable in your own skin, regardless of what's going on in your life, regardless of what you look like, or if what your job is, or if you even have a job, or if you're working, or if you're not working, or if you have millions of dollars, or if you have $0. Wherever you are in life is exactly where you should be. And I know that can sound very frustrating to hear. I know that by me saying that, it's probably making you feel a little bit worse, but just hear me out, because you are here for a really great purpose. I consider myself to be very special and very unique, and I consider you to be very special and very unique. Everybody has that potential within them. It is already within them. It's just that they have been programmed and conditioned in such a way that it's almost impossible for most people to see that. Because most people only see the physical. We only see the 3D reality that's right in front of us. We can't even imagine who we are on the soul level, and we can't even imagine, what the 5-dimensional spiritual world has in plan for for me, for you, for the rest of society. We are here for a really great purpose. And you know, it really does feel great. You know, I'm honestly like at the point in my life right now where it wouldn't matter if I was the last man on earth, I would still be at peace. I can still love myself and I would still be fine. Here's another aspect of self-love that I really want people to understand and acknowledge, which is that when you truly love yourself, you are open to possibilities. Your heart is more open to love. But here's the caveat to that. You don't necessarily need other people's love, but at the same time, you can openly accept other people's love. The love that you get from other people is just an added bonus. It just adds to your life. It doesn't complete your life because you already complete yourself. God already completes you. That's another wonderful thing about self-love that I want people to acknowledge and I want people to understand. And I think that this is where I'm going to wrap this up, because this honestly might be one of the most exciting things about self-love is, just the undeniable peace that you're going to have, the love that you're going to have for yourself, the confidence that is just going to be brought forward to the surface. There's just so many possibilities, and it's all thanks to self-love. And trust me, you can do it too. I know it doesn't seem that way. If you're sitting and you're watching this right now, and you've been really depressed, and very anxious and suicidal, and you don't want to really do anything. You don't want to see anybody. I know what that feels like. So that's why I'm here to tell you guys that it is possible, and you can do it. Anybody can do it, and that is God's will for people to learn to truly love themselves, because you really cannot love other people until you first learn to love yourself, which I know is another cliche that people on the internet or people on TV like to throw around, and try to make it seem like it's one of the easiest things to register. But it is true. Even though you do love other people, like you love your family, you love your children, you love your friends, most likely you do not love them unconditionally. I mean really, like true unconditional love, with no expectations, with no give and take, with no requirements, just full unconditional love, no matter what. No words necessary, no actions necessary, just complete, peaceful, abundant love. So anyway, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you. I hope that this video helped you. I hope it brought value, and if it did, feel free to share it with your friends and your family. But like always, I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next video.